And welcome everyone back to another episode of Macro Crypto, where we talk about anything and everything involved in the crypto space. And today we're jumping back into the world of Rebase Tokens, chatting about Olympus DAO, Klima DAO, and even touching base about Time Wonderland. If you do enjoy the content, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and head over to our Twitter page at Macro Crypto Club. And go ahead, give us a follow. Like always, link will be down in the description. Before we start, also, it has to be said that none of this information is financial advice by any means. We're here for pure entertainment purposes only. We just do the research and try to give you an unbiased approach within the market itself and Rebase Tokens for today. Do your own research at the end of the day. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead, dive into today's content, and we are starting with Time Wonderland over on the Avalanche protocol. It's official. Time has definitely run out for Wonderland. If you don't want to take it from me, take it from their one of their co-founders. Said so at the end of January on Twitter that this project is dead and gone. Maybe not those specific words, and I don't know all the ins and outs for this project. But when you have a juicy APY still sitting at almost 80,000, that's for bootstrapping. If this project has been around since I think August of last year, if it hasn't bootstrapped enough already, don't even consider getting yourself into this project. People have staked funds in this protocol still, and they can't get them out. So they're trying to think about rage quit options for staked holders. It's a hot mess. That same co-founder created Magic Internet Money. Not to say that this individual has bad intentions. It's just the project itself just tanked horribly. You can also check on their GitHub. They don't have any commits since 3 months ago. So, just look at the evidence here. Also, the other co-founder is a criminal. Stole over 164 million off a Canadian exchange or from a Canadian exchange, or was at least in connection of the funds being taken. Just all around, Time Wonderland is sketchy. Don't get involved. Let's go ahead, dive into the real reason why we're here. Olympus and Klima. First off, Ohm. Ohm's price is sitting at $46.84. We're just getting shellacked all the way around, to be honest. So I hope we understand by now, the rebase market is in massive correlation with the whole crypto space, but mainly, Ethereum and Bitcoin. And when the market's taking a hit, the rebase market gets hit first and hardest in the long run. So we've noticed that. We understand that. Olympus has now put a new bottom in at its current price. But at least we have a good understanding of where the total value of Ohm is for the treasury. We've gone over this before. It's sitting at $44.60. The Ohm price, a little different than when we just checked on CoinGecko, but sitting at $47.24. So their runway is massive within the protocol. We have a long time because of the current APY that's under 1,000%, and it fluctuates up and down. Remember, that current index is always climbing. That's your rebase, and that's what you take times the Ohm price to get your GOM. The reason why you always want to put yourself into GOM, especially if you're in the good US of A or any place within the world that does taxes based off of taxable events like rebases, for staking purposes. That's why owning GOM is beneficial for accounting purposes, okay? Because that way it's not a taxable event. GOM's price just goes up and down, so owning GOM doesn't hurt you in tax purposes. But if you own staked Ohm and then you keep accumulating more staked Ohm through those rebases, some countries might think of that as a taxable event, like the United States currently. So we'll see if that changes, but I did just want to throw that out there. Understand that the Ohm price is going to just be massively correlated with the crypto market. If the crypto market starts skyrocketing, I envision that also Ohm will take flight as well because of all the assets that the Ohm Kirby is gobbling up. All that treasury has a big correlation with the crypto market. So does that change over time? I believe so, but it's going to try to become a reserve currency where it's not fluctuated based off inflation. It's based off the market. So more inflation, of course, or if there's less or deflation, all of the craziness, it's a reserve currency that's backed by assets. And that pool of assets is just going to make this reserve currency strong over time, but very volatile in the early stages. Also, before we jump over to the Klima DAO, do want to talk about the runway that's available. Because of that lower APY than what we've had in the past, they almost have a nice runway almost in 2 years. That means the runway is the number of days staked Ohm emissions can be sustained at the given rate. Lower APY equals longer runway. So meaning that currently right now, they can sustain this specific APY for almost 2 years, 627 days to be exact. So that's a huge bonus for us. We want to continue seeing that APY drop. If you're in this protocol, if you're getting into this protocol to understand that way we have more stability for the future with this being a reserve currency. Now, let's go ahead and jump over to Klima DAO. Even getting hit harder. $19.70 currently right now is the price of Klima. To go over some Klima protocol decisions that the community has recently made. This is the KIP14, decreasing the APY, which we have discussed on this channel multiple times, is a good thing, and I'm going to continue backing that. The supply of the carbon credits coming on chain is not enough for the current APY. Meanwhile, Klima DAO is minting a large supply of Klima at a high APY. So if it's at 8,000 where it currently stands, I think it's more actually closer to 5,000 something right now, but it's dropping right now. That means if it was staying at the 80,000 or 8,000, it would have to have an 80x to get those carbon assets into the treasury. So instead they put up the KIP 14, and guess what? It got voted, it got approved unanimously. Not unanimously, I should say, but obviously there were some no votes, but it was pretty lopsided. And I of course voted for this event because I'm a huge believer in lowering that APY, creates more stability over time and allows us to have a longer runway, more chance to weather this storm of a down market. We want to give this Klima DAO a chance to be successful for the future. So we need that runway to be to give us that chance in the first place. Entering resilience mode means allowing refi to develop and helping bring more carbon on chain via our ecosystem partners. Reducing APY slows down Klima emissions. This increases runway, how long Klima can be distributed to stakers, and gives time for refi to flourish while we continue to build. And Klima DAO, the resistant mode, by lowering and reward weight, we can increase the runway and reduce blah, blah, blah. Yes, we're increasing the runway. We already understand that. Okay, we've talked about that with Olympus just now, talked about that, why it's so important with Klima. So expect that the Klima APY will drop to 1,000 or lower, but that's going to be a good thing. I know there's a little chat about 2,000 and 1,000. But just understand this gives us a year-long runway, sustainable in comparison with the rewards that you're getting. Because basically the Klima protocol is fighting towards a BCT, a base carbon tone. The price of that is what one Klima is fighting for the price. And right now we got a nice price of $3.70. And what this looks like over time is this: we want this value to increase, of course. And the more that we lock up in Klima, the more valuable Klima it will become over time, because we're locking it all up within a protocol. And then that's where it's going to create more value for Klima holders and more value, of course, for companies to hold Klima on their sheets, because then they don't mind giving up those carbon base tones or those carbon offsets, because they hold Klima. So the more that Klima stacks up, the more valuable that their Klima that's on their balance sheet becomes. So it's a nice endless cycle where Klima is collecting and eating up those that carbon. And we want to see this value increase. And you can find this on CoinGecko as well through the Toucan protocol for the base carbon tone. If you do search, you just nice search BCT and it will come up there right there for you. Okay, don't do the Bitcoin Trust, but the Toucan protocol. So that's what I know is a quick video. It's just a quick discussion. Obviously, these Rebase tokens are at the mercy of the crypto market currently, and we are obviously in a downtrend because of the geopolitical state that this world is currently in. All thoughts and prayers are for all those involved in Ukraine, whether it's on the side of Russia or the Ukrainians. Just thoughts and prayers go out to everybody out there. Hope you enjoyed today's content. Remember, please like and subscribe and head over to that Twitter page. Till next time, everybody. Peace.